Welcome back to Small Cap Recap, everybody. Trader Bryce here. Pretty decent day. I mean, it's only market time. Oh, I don't know, 1:15 market time. But I'm basically done for the day. I'm a little tired still. Still a little jet lagged, and quite honestly, I'm leaving to basically avoid FOMO. If you guys remember yesterday, I was talking about how I lost about $25,000 over the course of the last week from my swing positions. And you know what? I'm not even really I'll let the charts do the talking. Let's switch on over here. If you remember yesterday, I went over how I cut my VRPX swing. This right here was me cutting my 17,500 shares as it broke under the 430s, and that was my risk level. Today, it is now at $16 a share. Not to do the math or anything, but you know, with a 470 average with 17,500 shares, I believe that puts me, would have put that. Now I would never have held this long, ever. But it might be like 170 grand. Does it hurt? Oh, absolutely. I did trade it pre-market. So here's the deal. I'm kind of going to use this as a kind of, I was very upset, and not upset, but it kind of hurt. But this is what I told myself to remind me that it's okay. So in terms of selling this yesterday, here's kind of my thesis. Again, not thesis, my risk level. Did I use the wrong risk levels? Probably. Probably did. I was oversized. But this right here, the support that was forming the 430s was my risk. And I probably should have used here, but as I said yesterday, this is a bio stock, and the fact that it scared me that, you know, I really did not want to get stuck with bad news coming out and getting a really big gap down. So sold yesterday. This morning had a small gap up on news, had some FDA approval. Always good. And basically, so as soon as I saw this spiking up in pre-market, I was interested. I was like, okay, I'll probably take some again. I did. I took 8,000 shares from a 475 average, I think. Selling up everywhere from the 550s up into my best sell was right. Too far. My best sell was at $7 a share, which was really good. I was happy with it. And here's the reason, you know, in terms of the intraday trade, I didn't trust it as much anymore as I did when I was swinging it. A lot of this actually in the beginning was a chat pump. And generally chat pumps do fail. Let me bring over BON from this morning. Another chat pump, which I actually did like. I liked the daily chart, liked this intraday action. And I generally don't trade pre-market, by the way, just letting you know this. But I took a little bit here at 1350s, I think, 1360s. As we were breaking out of this consolidation, it spiked into the 14s, and as chat pumps do, it just kind of got crushed. Open, tried to spike, tried to do like a little dip and rip, and just got destroyed. I expected the same thing to happen with VRPX, and honestly, the fact that it made it to 7, I was like stoked, super happy. In fact, I actually took off 69 shares at 6.9. You're welcome. No, but yeah, once there's a chat room on it, it does become a little bit tougher. Especially, I can't remember the last time we've had a chat pump work this well. I mean, in a long time. And obviously, this seems to be the stock that's going to try to heat the market back up. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see some really nice runners over the next few days. But there was a lot kind of going for it. So in terms of the swing trade, I cut it when it hit my risk. I followed my plan. And unfortunately, it literally worked the next day. And in terms of the day trade, it was one of those, you know, I played it really well. In my opinion, summer action, we haven't had a big runner in a long time, intraday. And it was a chat pump. So I was fine selling into the 7s, you know, 470s to 7. That's fantastic. I think I made just about 10 grand on it. I did take a couple other losses throughout the rest of the day. As it turns out, VRPX really was the only solid runner. Now, one spot I wish I had taken, again, on this was, whatever. One spot I wish I had taken on VRPX here was on this curl attempt. We're going to make this wide or larger. Right under VWAP right here. So you had this false breakdown, low volume. That was fine. I actually wasn't looking at it because once it went to 10, I was kind of getting this FOMO. Like I had so many shares of this literally yesterday and then sold. And now here it is up at $10. And normally I do a really good job at not caring about a stock when it goes higher, especially if I followed my plan. And I did. For some reason, this was just killing me. So I walked away. But, right here, we had this false breakdown on low volume. It had already exhausted itself and then just recovered, grinded, held support, and starts coming back above VWAP. This would have been a fantastic entry in this area, really anywhere from the 840s up until VWAP almost, I would have taken. I probably would have sold into the high day test. I would never have held through this. And up here, I was watching it, but it was so extended at this point. They're scary. Low flows can fall just as fast as they run. And right now, this is the perfect example of an intraday short squeeze. Kind of reminds me of SPI. This pattern right here was nearly identical, although SPI, I believe, was a little later in the afternoon, closer to maybe 1. But it had the false breakdown. Then it just consolidated and ripped. And this was even nicer because it was right under VWAP. It was potentially a short trap that it was hovering under VWAP so long. Shorts waiting for it. It had a pretty bad crack candle here. It just cracked support. But then it did help. You have to look. It held this support here, right? A lot of factors lining up. Hindsight, that would have been a great entry spot, but I wasn't even looking. Up here is just too sketchy for me. Anywhere up past high a day, a little bit too sketchy for me. And it worked out really well. I mean, after high a day, it got another $5 a share, went up another 50%. But it's just, the risk reward isn't there for me. And it is what it is. I missed the meat of the move, but I'm happy with how I traded it when I traded it. And I'm happy that I stuck to my plan. Anyways, I just gave a really long analysis on that. Let's head on over to AHPI. This was another trade I took today and lost on, unfortunately. So AHPI, first green day idea. So let's get zoomed in here and take this off. So we come up, we were over $16 a share, straight down to 10, and we were green on the day for a while. In fact, this kind of the intraday pattern almost reminded me a bit of Carve when it bounced, where spike, curl, back up, spike, and then consolidate here. I was waiting for this to rip up. I had a few shares I think I had 7,500 from 1038. Sold most up into this high day push because, again, summer market, slow. I'm trying to be scalpy. Held on to 2,500. Sold when it broke the 1040s, this low right here. And turns out that was a good move. I was planning to just rebuy. Actually, I did rebuy. I rebought right here, small size, cut under this trend break. And I think I made maybe $1,500 on it. Had a couple losers. My HPIL swing, I ended up adding today, and then it made new lows on the day. Cut that for a small loss. Lost, as I said, I lost on BON here. I think I lost about $1,300, but this is my biggest loss of the day. And yeah, it's just part of the game. In terms of VRPX, I underplayed it, underestimated it, and that's fine. But whatever it is, 6,000, 6,500, whatever I'm up today, pretty good for a summer day. First day back first full day back at the full-time setup here. And yeah, moving forward, I'm going to definitely, normally when these types of runs happen after the market's been slow for a few weeks or even a month, this is tough because this isn't really a sector. It's a pharma company. It's it's a pharmaceutical company. When SPI ran, that ignited a sector. So could this heat up biotechs and, pharmaceuticals? It could. I don't know. But generally, I've noticed that these sectors get hot for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, a week to 2 weeks. So I'm going to keep, hot runners on watch, trying to, with some stocks, trying to be the next VRPX. But I'm not going to be super convicted yet. I'll play the patterns as I see fit, probably continue to scalp them. And That's really about it. No plans to push crazy size yet. I don't think the market is going to be crazy hot for the rest of the month by any means. But again, take what the market gives you. Don't complain about, don't cry over spilt milk. You know, don't be wishing that you held longer. Don't let greed take over. Be happy with how you traded as long as you followed your plan. And guys, that is about it. I'm really tired. Like I said, I'm still kind of jet lagged, so I'm probably going to go take a nap. And yeah, that's it for this today's episode of Small Cap Recap. Legend has it that next week, Matthew Monaco will be back in the building. Is it true? I don't know. You be the judge. All right, guys, until tomorrow, Trader Bryce out. We hope you guys enjoyed that last video. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of the StocksTrade community. We wouldn't be here without you guys. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but we can't do it without your help. So if you enjoy what we're putting out and want to hear more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video.